Hey Nuggets. So this week's topic for the PSA is how to talk to your teachers when you need help. For some of you, this is not a problem. You're pretty comfortable talking to teachers, or you just know your teachers pretty well. For other students, this is a huge challenge and a huge barrier to getting the help that you need. Now, when I think back to when I was in high school, I was not a kid that really felt super comfortable talking to teachers. I was much more likely to ask my friends for help, or if I was struggling with assignments or needed clarification on an assignment. But with that said, I also know that there are times that you really do need to talk to your teachers for help. So it might be when you don't have access to a classmate to kind of answer some of these questions. It might mean, or it might be if you just need clarification on directions for an assignment. Maybe you're not understanding the content and you need help understanding it or getting retaught that information. You may need to contact a teacher just to give them a heads up about something that's going on in your life. So if you want to let them know, hey, someone in my family's sick and I'm not able to focus on school as well as usual, that may be a reason to talk to a teacher. Or one of the most common ones, if you've just been gone and you need to either figure out what you missed or you need to let a teacher know, hey, I'll be gone for an appointment. So there's lots of reasons you might want to talk to a teacher. Today, I'm going to give you some tips and we're going to go talk to some teachers about how to make that process go better, how to do it. So first of all, my tips for you are to, one, pay attention to when it works for the teacher to come see them. So if they've given you like office hours on distance learning days, if they have told you the best time to catch me is, before school, after school. So pay attention to what they're telling you. If they haven't given you any certain time, the end of class is a great time to catch them. Between classes is okay. And really before or after school is okay. And if you're a distance learner, you are going to have to either be talking with them via the Meet. Maybe you want to use the chat. I think there's a private chat function you can use with your teachers, or you're just going to have to email them or call them. So don't be afraid to do that. With that, I'm going to go around and talk to a couple teachers and kind of model for you how you might want to approach them. So stay tuned. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is just model what it looks like. So I am here with Mr. Gunkelman, most approachable teacher at Holly High School, wearing the new Grinch mask. I'll show you what it looks like. So I'll be the student. Hey, Mr. Gunkelman, I missed applied physics the other day and I'm kind of lost. Can you help me?
Yeah, sure. Just come on in, or we can set up a time, email, or we can meet via Google Meets, whatever you want, whatever works best.
All right, students, it is that easy to approach a teacher. Now, with words of wisdom from Mr. Gunkelman, if a kid needs to come and talk to you, what do you wish they knew, or what advice would you give them?
Number one is the best thing to do would be to just hold on a second. What was the question?
All right, so be flexible when things pop up. The question was, Gunk, if kids need to talk to you because they have a question, what do you wish they knew, and what's your tip for them?
The biggest tip would just be to ask before it becomes a problem. So if you're not understanding something, make sure you ask for assistance beforehand. There's more than just you that probably has the question, and it's much easier to figure things out ahead of time than it is later on down the road. The best way to communicate with me would be via email. If you have questions, I try to get back to those as soon as I can. Or in person works wonderfully. So either one of those would work, and then just let me know if you want to meet via Google or if you want to meet in person. Okay, and here's the secret about some of your teachers. Even though sometimes teachers like Mr. Gunkelman or other teachers seem a little intimidating, the reality is that once you ask them their questions and you visit with them, you're going to find out that they really do just want to help you, and it's not as scary as you thought. So don't be afraid to go in and talk to a teacher, and feel free to take a friend with you if you want to. Now let's go find someone else. Okay, so now I am talking with Mrs. Ludwig. Ms. Ludwig, if a student needs help from you, what are some of the tips you'd give them, or some ways that they should be approaching teachers?
Okay, wonderful question. I am always available to help, and like every teacher in the school, want to help you. That's primarily what we do. And the best way to ask for help is to email or join the Google Meet and to say, hi, Mrs. Ludwig, it's great to see you today, and I really need some help. And don't just stop there. Be specific. Say what you need help with. Give an example. I don't get it doesn't work. I don't really understand what you want when you ask this character's motivation or what this word means. Can you give me an example and a way to help me? And then afterwards, if you still don't get clarification, ask for more help. Don't just exit and not understand what's going to happen. We'll be there for as long as needed to help you. And then say thank you. What you shouldn't do is send a message that says, hey Ludwig, I don't get this, because I will ignore that. I'm always going to help you, but be kind, be specific, and say thank you.
Hey, thanks, Mrs. Ludwig. Okay, so now we have Mr. Hanson, math teacher. Mr. Hanson, if kids need to get help from you, what should they know, or do you have any tips for them?
It's pretty simple. You just have, whether you're at home or you're in the building, you send me an email if you're at home. That's a really wonderful. And, just say, hey, hi there, Mr. Hanson. Hope you're having a good day. And, say, I need help with question number whatever. And, I'll help you. Otherwise, us teachers, we're here every day. Today is Wednesday. It's distance learning day. But I had 2 students come to my classroom today and asked for help. And it was an absolutely phenomenal experience to see the look on their face going, oh my God, this is so easy. And so, sometimes it's just such small little roadblocks that you might have, but, we're here as teachers to help you. And all you have to do is ask.
Awesome. Thanks, Mr. Hanson. Okay, so Mrs. Jeral, you and I are socially distanced, and full disclosure for your mask not wearing. So if kids need to talk to a teacher for any reason, any suggestions for them or tips for them on how to do that?
Sure. I think kids could come and talk to me in person, of course, but if that is too intimidating for whatever reason, or if the students are at home, they could certainly email me. A lot of you at home have already learned how to do that. Please don't say, hey Jeral, though, because that bothers me a little bit. Say, hey Mrs. Jeral, or hi Mrs. Jeral, or how's your day, or something that's human first, and then, talk to me about whatever you need to talk to. A lot of you have learned how to do that, and it's been really effective. Never doubt that all of us teachers are behind you 100%, and we want to find a way to help you. So if you approach it from that idea, knowing we're on your side, that'll make it much easier for you.
Mrs. Jeral, what have you found over the years that if a student is maybe hesitant to come talk to you and they finally get the courage up to do it, how does that usually go?
It usually goes pretty well, and honestly, I think I can't think of a single exception. Teachers would much rather have you approach us than your folks, because if your folks are approaching us, we don't know if you care or if it is your folks who care. And if you come to us and ask us, what can I do to improve my grade, or I was gone, what do I need to know, or things like that, that takes a little bit of courage, and that looks so good for you, and we respect that so much when you do that, and it goes well when you do that, in my experience.
Awesome. Hey, thanks, Mrs. Jeral. Have a good day.
You too.
All right, so there you've got it, a few different perspectives from a few different teachers. I hope that you picked up on some common themes, that teachers do want to help you. They just want you to reach out in any way that you're comfortable or that you're able to. Please know that if going to see a teacher is really uncomfortable for you, I am happy to go with you. I've helped lots of students over the years just go break the ice. I'm also happy to just kind of practice with you, which sounds kind of weird, but totally helps. Or your parents can practice with you, just kind of running through, like, how would you have this conversation? How would you start saying it? Some good suggestions from teachers about how to email them appropriately in a way that they're going to respond to. And my next PSA for you next week is actually going to be about how to compose a professional type email to send to your teacher, because we know that if you have an email that's more respectful and better reflects what you're trying to ask, the odds of you getting a helpful answer are much higher. So until then, good luck. Hope everything's going well, and don't be afraid to reach out to your teachers for whatever you may need. Take care, Nuggets.